Speaking of like EVO Japan, right? I caught wind of this. I think like a few days back. I think EVO Japan posted out it's technically their early bird registration numbers. So we're gonna be checking out a Event Hub's article posted by Dakota Dark Horse Hills. Early EVO Japan 2026 entrant numbers. The numbers are really showing a lot. Street Fighter, obviously the biggest one with 2,506 entries. And then you look at the numbers below, they are comparatively to Street Fighter 6, almost every other game is like night and day. You have Guilty Gear at 190, Vampire Savior at 132, Tekken 8 at 130, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus at 118, 2XKO at 106. Tied that is Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Hokuto no Ken has 56. Melty Blood has 54. King of Fighters 15 with 52. Virtua Fighter Revo with 39, and Under Night In-Birth at 32. Holy shit, Street Fighter in Japan, Street Fighter has a lot more numbers in comparatively so than the rest of the EVO Japan roster. Tekken 8 was about to be like third until two more entrants said, nah, fuck Tekken, we're going for Vampire Savior.
Bruh.
Damn, man. This is kind of shocking, but this is also very true, like, as well. Based on like what we saw and heard from EVO, what was it, Capcom Cup? Being exclusively like pay-per-view and only held in like Japan. I talked about how popular Street Fighter really is in Japan. Like, they are really like hardcore for the craft of Street Fighter. In comparison to like, you know, the US, right? We have so many different like fighting games, so you could like search one and there'd be like a crowd like for you. In America here, right, a lot of people will bop and vibe with like Tekken 8, right? I know that for a fact because a lot of my friends will go for like Tekken, right? That's just like, you know, an example, but it's true. I don't see a lot of like my friends going into like Street Fighter. Well, I mean, of course, again, my friends, right? But I could use that as a litmus test of, you know, how popular is, like, let's say for like a fighting game, right? If we were to like introduce them. But most of my friends are like Tekken heads. Not many of us are like into like Street Fighter, like relatively like few, but Street Fighter has kind of like gone sour. Not just like, you know, not just Street Fighter, Tekken 8 as well. Like most of the fighting games like are experiencing like a decay with very like specific reasons, right? Each like their own unique reason of why they've like not branched off, but they're like not winning the hearts of everybody anymore. Back to like Japan, dude, people still love Street Fighter. Japan is seen as like the country with the most dedicated Street Fighter player base, as well as Virtua Fighter, right? And this is not just like, you know, this year with 2,500 and the rest being like so meager and like lukewarm. EVO Japan of like last year, where it had only 7 games, and look at the like the robust numbers though, 6.5k entries.
Bruh.
With the rest of the fighting games like really doing like solid numbers. Like this would be like EVO, actual like EVO numbers of going. And these are like, you know, solid games. Tekken was actually like second. Now when you look at like this year, it's like the continuation of season 2, right, for Tekken 8. Guilty Gear still has like problems, but people still like bop with it. VSAV coming back as like, you know, a tournament could be like a rise for something like Darkstalkers like related. Around 3,000 signups. Japan really loves Street Fighter. They love that shit. In comparison to like, you know, the West, the East really loves Street Fighter. I pop in like a single like YouTube, right? We could do that like right now, but I'm gonna just say Tokido, any of the Street Fighter pro players in Japan get way more popular, have way more viewership than, let's say, here in like in the West. Even more so than Max Dude, more so than Punk, Brian F, all of those guys, right? Japan just like is very Street Fighter centric, you know? That's also a good thing, but that's also a bad thing because it's like not many people in Japan are fucking with the other like fighting games, right? Goes to show the favoritism that Street Fighter has. I'm surprised Virtua Fighter is like 39 entries, right? Given the fact that it's like, you know, Virtua Fighter. But dude, everybody loves Street Fighter, man. It's the reason why Capcom is going pay-per-view. It's the reason why Capcom Cup is being like held in Japan, the biggest like hotspot for everything Street Fighter related. But Japan has to be like bigger and not be like consolidated into like Street Fighter, because most of these like games are pretty like fire though. I mean, it's both good and bad. We're still gonna be like watching them at very like unorthodox times because, you know, EVO Japan has to do more inclusion and more sponsorships for like these tournaments per se than just being like solely focused on like Street Fighter. It's got to be power in like variety. 3,000 entrants, that's way less than last year's. That means that like, you know, even like Street Fighter heads can also be like very tired by the fact of like the meta roaming around in like Street Fighter 6. All I remember is like from last like EVO, Ed Sagat, Bison, Akuma, Mai, those are like the 5 like powerhouses of Street Fighter 6, and there's no like well, except maybe like Blas, because Blas plays like the Shotos and Sagat, and I think like he was there at EVO Japan if I recall correctly. But there's still also like JP, and JP is still pretty solid, right? But well, I guess like JP is also there too. But yeah, like there's no real change up in the meta game. There's no real balance in SF6 at the moment. That could be a good indicator that like drop from like 6.5k to 2.5k. Yeah, just like not a lot of people are like bopping with Street Fighter. And considering that like we had like people leave Street Fighter, like I think like Kakeru left because of his neurological conditions. I think that's also there too. It's like a huge like critical thinking like analysis of this like stat, because there's so many different like answers we can come up with. But at the end of the day, Japan still really loves Street Fighter. I wonder how that would change, if it's going to be like the same number, or I think it's going to be probably dropping down to maybe like just 2k. If this is the way they're keeping up, if Capcom is doing this sort of like keeping the same thing, I'm hoping for a change up. Like how I am acting with like Fatal Fury, I'm hoping for a change up for both Street Fighter and Fatal Fury. I want to see like some major global-wide changes, you know? And Street Fighter is going to be hitting like their approaching its 40th anniversary. When did like Street Fighter the series first started? 1987, 38 years ago. Yeah, so it will soon be like, give another year, it's gonna be 40 years. What are they planning for their like, you know, big changes to change up like the game of Street Fighter? Street Fighter 6 Season Pass 4 will be technically over by the time like Ingrid rolls out, but Ingrid will roll out in like summer. right? Because of the new updates going on, the new scheduling updates going on with Street Fighter 6. So let's see where Street Fighter goes from here, you know? But overall, for like EVO Japan, we're still gonna be watching it for good old time and good old laughs. But yeah, there's a real exponential growth at Street Fighter in Japan for Street Fighter, but also like dangerous because it's like not many other fighting games are given, you know, that much popularity, that much, you know, attention if it's not Street Fighter. That's really like a problem.